Hi guys, I think we are live now. Hi, good to see all of you guys on. Okay. Hi everyone who has joined us. Hi, good to see all of you guys. We are live now. So please let me know through the chat box if everything is, if I'm audible, if everything is fine, then we'll get started. Good to see all of you guys who have joined us, and a lot of people are who have joined us. I'll be waiting for more to join, but good to see all those who have joined us. In this particular stream, we'll be focusing on the opening sentences or the opening lines for the personal interview. As many of you would be aware, personal interview carries like very high weightage in almost every single MBA admission. So how to actually introduce yourself, how to answer the question, tell me about yourself, we'll be discussing in this particular video. Before we get started, I'd request all of you guys who are watching, please like the stream. It would help us quite a bit in reaching more people. I see like 31 people watching, but only like 11 likes. So please like the stream. Please share the stream with whoever is preparing for CAT. It would help us quite a bit in reaching more students, and it would motivate us to do more of these streams. So good to see everyone who has come. Okay, hi Srijay, hi Shubhika. Good to see all of you guys. I want the stream to be interactive. So my idea is basically I want you guys to prepare what your tell me about yourself will be, so that I can give some feedback on that. I'll try to read as many of your tell me about yourself as much as possible, and I'll tell you what can be improved and what is good, what can be improved as such. So hope that we have a very good interactive session. Hi Shivani. Hi everyone who's joining us. I see a lot of people joining us. So good to see so many people joining us as such. But please like the stream. Please share the stream with whoever is preparing for CAT. Okay. So good to see everyone who has joined us. So let's get started. So first thing that I always tell whenever people start preparing for tell me about yourself is that write things down. Things become clearer, less ambiguous, less vague once you start writing things down. And the first thing that you have to do is that the end goal of this whole process should be a small paragraph about yourself. It should introduce you. It should give the person who is interviewing you some idea about who you are. It should not be completely random. It should not be unrelated to you as such. It should be very closely related to who you are as a person. What are your likes, dislikes, what are your interests, what you have done in life. It should also have a brief description of your academic life and your work life, because it is important from the perspective of the interview, and should also not just be limited to that, but also include your interests, what you actually who you are as a person as such. So basically I have listed out a few things that you should actually write down, but before everything else, remember this should be a paragraph that you write down, that you practice in your head over and over again, so that it becomes very smooth in its delivery. So this as a rule has to be written down. Okay, ideally try to put it to around like 6 lines. 6 lines is like the most you'll probably get out. 5 to 6 lines you'll get a chance to say 5 to 6 lines before the interviewers either interrupt or say that okay, pick up on one of the hooks. Again, saying more than 5-6 lines, it would be kind of putting too much on the interviewer, kind of bombarding them with too much information, and that is also not very good. So try to write somewhere around 5 to 6 lines about who you are. 4 lines is also okay. So I would say anywhere between 4 to 6 lines is fine. A lot of people get very worried that where to start with this. They don't know how to actually start writing the tell me about yourself. So what I generally try to do is like I try to use the master resume method. So whenever you have to make a resume, I learned this trick while making my resume for the first time, is that instead of thinking, okay, what should go on your resume and what shouldn't go on your resume, what you essentially do is you sit down and make every single achievement you have had in your school life, in your college life, every single you list it out, then your work, every single achievement, every single certificate you have won, every single thing you have done, every single result you have had, just write it down in a like master table format. That's your master resume. And basically that master resume holds the total story of everything that you have done in life. Now that master resume has to be basically cut down and refined into a sleek resume as such, a simple resume which is a one-pager. So similarly with tell me about yourself also, what I would recommend is make a long one-page this where you write everything about yourself. And what happens when you write everything about yourself is that you think of things that you would want to talk about, things that are impressive about you, things that are interesting about you. You will get that only if you write down everything, and once you write down everything, you realize, yeah, I have actually material to talk about. Then you condense it down to your tell me about yourself. What you should basically list down firstly is all your basic details, your name, where you're from, where you grew up, your educational background. So basically you can say that I'm Sayali Kale. I was born and brought up in Thane. I did my undergraduation in computer science from VJTI, and after this I worked in XYZ company. So basically all these basic details have to be completed. Once that is completed, then you can start talking about what is special about you, what is different about you. So you can say that I'm an avid reader, I read all kinds of books, but especially I'm extremely interested in detective fiction. I've read all kinds of detective fiction from like well-known authors like Agatha Christie to even smaller known authors like Mike Gray and Charleston, etc., etc. I'm a huge buff for that particular genre. So that is something that is interesting about you, that sets you apart from the normal people as such. Then you have to basically say what you actually do. So what are your interests, what you actually implement in action. It's not something that you passively like to watch. So basically a lot of people watch cricket or read books, but that is in a way of passive interest as such. What do you actively do? So do you basically run a blog about cricket, or do you run a blog about anything? Do you write about anything? Do you have a group, a book club, anything of that sort which requires active participation as such? So then you think, okay, what are your interests, and what is impressive about you, what is special about you, what do you actually do in your free time to actually cultivate these interests as such. So that is basically what should be in your final tell me about yourself, your basic details plus what is special about you, what is impressive about you, what are your interests as such. The point of all of this is to give firstly a good sense of who you are as a human being, and secondly, the only chance you really get to guide the interview or put it along a particular route or something like that is at the start. After the start, the path of the interview can't be decided by you, because after that walk of the interview will be decided by the interviewer. It will go wherever the interviewer wants. The only point of time when you have any control of where that interview will go is at the start. At the start, you can set a kind of a agenda of what is interesting about you, so that you can hope that the interviewer will pick it up and will like take you in the direction where you want to go. Because essentially, suppose like I start with my name is Sayali Kale, I come from Thane and this, and the author says okay, and the interviewer says that okay, Thane, it's in Maharashtra, and he starts about Maharashtrian politics. Now I have no idea about Maharashtrian politics. I will come off as somebody who is clueless or blank. So that basically makes you go down a path where you are like not in control, and it would not help you get selected. Try as much as possible to put things in your tell me about yourself that interest the interviewer. That would be like, okay, maybe let's talk about that, and then you can try to put it in areas where you have more control over the interview as such. Okay, so let's take a look at all those who have joined us, and I want all of you guys, while we are preparing, to actually start thinking about what you're going to write, and write some sample tell me about yourselves here so that we can actually get a look at that. I see a lot of people have joined us, over 64 people have joined us, and not that many likes. So please guys, please like the stream. It is important for us to get more likes so that we are more motivated to do more of these streams. Okay. Okay, hi Sayali, got a call from FABM Ahmedabad and Lucknow. How do I prepare for what? Sanket will hold another stream for what. We'll hold, I think we have put up videos also about what, so please do check out the videos. The what for different institutes is slightly different. So do check out the video so that we go through that of how to prepare for each type of what as such. Okay, I made a mistake in the CAT form. I entered wrong board for 12th standard. Now nothing can be changed. I have a good score, ALK and PGP. Okay, Sundar, what I would suggest is that try mailing the guys. Try telling them that this is there was an error as such. This is not something that I think is material, but if it is left till the last moment, it could cause issues. So try to proactively get that corrected. Okay, hi ma'am, I studied hard for about 25 days, got this. I'm gem fresher. I'm also placed in a good company. Should I settle for B school again, or should I aim for ABC? I would suggest that at least for the experience, go and attend the interviews. Whether you take your final admission or not is secondary. Go and attend the interviews so that you at least get some hands-on experience of the interview. If you decide that okay, you will give CAT again and you are going to target only ABC, you will have experience. You will have actual experience of facing the interview board. You will know exactly what goes into it, and you will be better prepared next year. If you get the admission and you think, okay, this is a good enough institute, and you take it, again, there is no downside to going and preparing for interviews and going and giving it with your full this. Once you have a final call letter in your hand, then you can make a decision, because once you have a final call letter in your hand, you get a concrete sense of whether you want to go to that particular institute or not. If you don't want to go to that particular institute, you can take a decision then, but don't cut off the preparation part now. You go with full preparation whether or not you want to get in, because that preparation will not go waste. That hard work will not go waste. Even when you're trying next year, that hard work will be essentially laying the foundation for a proper PI interview in the next year as also. Okay. Marcos, don't get demotivated. See, basically, it's a low percentile, but it is something that you have a starting point for you. You can always say later that I started at 9 percentile and I ended up at 99 percentile. Essentially, you are not determined by where you start. You are going to be determined by where you end up. So put in the hard work, and I'm sure it will only go up from here. Okay, so put in the hard work, be dedicated, and don't get demotivated. How to make SOP CV? What do you have to do? We have to make it in a Word and then take color print? Yes, but again, take a look at the specific instructions given by the different institutes, because different institutes will have their own restrictions of how that has to be done. So just take a look at the instructions of different institutes. For example, for B, I think it is you have to write it down. I'm not really sure, but essentially different institutes have different ideas about how to do that. How to answer an interview why you want SIBM and you have calls from IIMs. See, Chetan, basically in those kind of questions, always we have to be very, very diplomatic. And this is something that, see, basically there is no, either you lie and the professor gets angry that you're lying. Clearly, if you get SIBM and if you get IIMA, you're going to choose IIMA. But you should not be saying that, okay? You should be diplomatic and saying that. Just essentially don't answer the question. You don't have to answer every question that is asked with full honesty. You can essentially say that, sir, at the moment I'm just focused on getting a final admission. I will take the decision once I'll cross the bridge once I come to it. I'm not taking the decision until I have the full information of where I'm getting admission into. Essentially, you are saying that you're not answering the question, but you're just being diplomatic. If you answer saying, no, I'll take SIBM, even if I get IIM call, I'm going to take SIBM, they'll be angry because you're lying. And if you say, no way will I take SIBM if I get IMC, again, it will hurt you. So just don't answer the question, just be diplomatic, don't answer the question. Okay. Joydeep, I think it is slightly difficult with that, but again depends on your particular your profile, etc. So if you want which calls you are going to get or which calls you are likely to get, please do check out the call predictor from Krakow. That will help you get an idea of whether or not which calls you are likely to get. Okay. So Shubhika sent her this. My name is Shubhika Gupta, born and brought up in my father is a senior audit officer, this, my mother is this, I qualified for CA. Okay, and experience, I have always been fascinated reading mythology and I'm an avid follower this, okay. Okay, and I think it got cut after that. Okay, okay, so I think that is the full this. Shubhika, firstly I would say that a lot of people mention about their parents, what their parents do, but essentially it doesn't add value to you as such, because essentially it is not seen as your personal achievement and they can actually start talking to you about it also, but again it does not add value to you. Essentially everything that you put in over here should add value to you. You can essentially say something of the sort that my parents come from, my dad works here and my mom works here, and they have always instilled in me the importance of working hard and getting a good educational qualification. So here you are then essentially trying to use that to add to you. Here just saying where they work doesn't really add to you. So generally I ask people to skip that unless it is in some way you can actually add value to your own resume by saying what they do. For example, if you say that my father works in a business background and I have been helping him in his in the family business since I was a 5-year-old. So that adds value to you. If you say that, okay, I'm the first graduate from my family, my parents both did not get the opportunity to graduate, but from a very early age, they made it a major goal in their life to get us graduated and to get us a good education. Again, that adds value to you. But just saying where they work doesn't add value to you. So just think about how to use that to add value to you. Okay. I scored 98.7 in Snap. How should I start preparing for this? Basically, firstly think of PI, how you have to start. For VAT, just find out what is the VAT format that is followed. There are a couple of different VAT formats that are followed, and also take a look at the video for VAT as such. Okay. I can handle current affair. What is to be done for topics I'm not good at? Ramakrishnan, basically start practicing the different VAT interview topics that have come in the last few years. Again, most of it's not just current affairs. It is also writing practice. A lot of people struggle with forming coherent or articulate arguments, and a lot of it just can come through writing practice. Take a practice topic, write it down. Do this for like 5-6 topics. By the 7th topic, you will be doing fairly okay. It just needs a lot of practice as such before you are able to write about topics. Nobody is going to ask you like from an obscure philosophy domain. Most of the topics are, even if they are abstract topics, you have to basically relate to what is happening in the real world. So again, it's mostly related to current affairs and not completely abstract as such. Okay, so let's go on to the second part, which is basically something which I call as hooks in your tell me about yourself. So hooks in your tell me about yourself are basically points or things that you mention in your tell me about yourself, which are going to start the next line of questioning. So what I do is, once I've written down my tell me about yourself, I highlight every proper noun inside the tell me about yourself. And I basically say this is going to lead to this, this is going to lead to this, this is going to lead to this. Then I make a book, okay. From that, basically I say, my name is Sayali Kale, your name is also a proper noun, and it is going to lead to a round of questioning. Your place of birth and where you have grown up, that is also going to lead to this of questioning. So each of them, write it at the top of a page and write an entire one pager of everything that you know about that. So basically, in I think an IIMA interview, I was asked that what is the meaning of the name Sayali, and then I said, okay, it's the name of a flower. Then they asked me, does this flower, what color is the flower? I didn't know. I said it's a white color flower. I was guessing. Then they said, okay, if it's a white color flower, does it have a good smell? Now basically, I realized that if it is a white color flower, if it doesn't have color, it has to have at least fragrance. Otherwise, it is not going to attract pollinators. So I said, yeah, it has a good fragrance. I have never seen the flower in my life, but essentially they are looking for somebody who has at least some idea of what things are. And you can, everything like this, every small word in your tell me about yourself can lead to a line of questioning, and you have to just basically be on top of that. So you can start with your name. Every single proper noun in your tell me about yourself will be a start of a new line of questioning, and you have to basically go through all of that. If you are saying that, okay, I'm a person who is like, I have a lot of integrity, you have to then say that, okay, that integrity part is also going to lead to a line of questioning, and then you have to think of like at least two or maybe three instances where you have shown integrity as such. So whenever you are doing anything, you have to basically back each word, each line with research. If you have put your name of your state, like you put Haryana, then you have to basically know everything about Haryana, geography, its history, its culture, its politics, its literature, everything about it as such. Even like go down to like what are its archaeological sites that are there, or the rivers that are there, everything should be known. For example, I'll tell you that they started off by saying, okay, I said I'm from Thane, then they basically went to Maharashtra. They asked me who was the Maharashtra's chief minister. I knew the name of Maharashtra's chief minister, but then they asked, okay, so what is special about him? So I didn't know anything about him other than the fact that he was the son of another chief minister. Then I said that he was the son of this chief minister, and that chief minister was the home minister of India during this time. So I knew something. Again, all of these things seem very abstract, but essentially they just want to see how much you have researched, how aware you are about yourself as such. So do that, just write down everything about yourself, and each of these are going to be starting points of conversation. Go deep into every possible line of questioning and think, okay, what will they ask next? What will they ask next? Finally, you will reach a dead end, and that is the point where you stop as such. Okay. Again, the thing that essentially you have to remember over here is that each hook that you put should be something that you actually want to talk about. So some people I know put in there, tell me about yourself, the fact that they have taken a gap year. Do you want to talk about your gap year? Because there is no way of looking good if you actually talk about your gap year. A gap year is something that you have to explain, but it is not going to make you look good as such. So unless you want to talk about it, don't put it in your tell me about yourself. The only thing that should be in your tell me about yourself that make you look good. Don't put anything that could have a negative connotation in your tell me about yourself. Okay. So let us take a look at some more questions. Okay. And my those who are asking about the calls, expected calls, please take a look at the call predictor. That would be a better, that will give you a better idea of what calls you can expect as such. Is preparation for CAT for 7 months after qualification as a fresher considered as a gap? Yes, it is, because essentially since you have graduated till now, what have you done? There's an obvious question of what you have done or what you are doing right now. So people will always ask, where are you working? So there is a gap as such, so you have to prepare for that. So you can say that, okay, I'm not currently working, I took a some amount of leave to prepare for CAT. That is acceptable, but you have to consider that as gap as such. Still no, I call, okay, 10th this. Harbaksh, basically just check the percentile predictor. I know has a lot of different weightages and different criteria. So again, from what I remember about it, it's not the most gem friendly institute, but again, I'm not really sure. Just take a look at call predictor. It will give you a better idea as such. Only response sheet is out and not the answer key. Yes, for that only response sheet is out and the answer key is not yet out. We are trying to give our answer key and it will be out very soon. Okay. As per crack whose AT score calculator, I got this. Please guide about this. Again, I'm not really sure, Parikshit, how what to this, because again at this point of time there's like a lot of change can happen. So I would say this is okay marks, but I really can't say where the eventual percentile will be based on this. Man, again basically just wait for some time. Once we get enough number of respondents also, based on that also we can give you a approximate percentile. In that essay, write different topic essay under another question. It's kind of this not great, but maybe can be explained to the interview panel. Basically, the interview panel is going to be actually reading it and judging it. So maybe you can explain it to them, but I'm not really sure what else can be done. Maybe you can try writing to that, essentially what happened, but I don't know how much they will this. But if the interview panel listens, that then well and good. Okay, call predictor. Okay, male engineer this. Again, yes, just take a look at the call predictor. That would be the best one that would help you with it. Okay. Okay, I have scored 97.42. Okay, again, Shrishti, Joydeep. Yeah, for how long loyalty offer is there? Joydeep, just write to support@cracker.in. They will help you with about like offers and all. IIM has A has a discontinuity in career in the form. Can I write about me taking a break to lose weight? Yeah, definitely. Essentially, any break that you have taken, you can essentially write about it and say that I have taken a break essentially to lose weight, to focus on my health. My health had deteriorated at that point of time, so I focused and rebuilt my health from that. I think that is a positive thing. If you lost 30 kgs, I definitely mentioned, because as a interviewer, I would be very impressed by that you actually took the proactive call to take a break and address bad health as such. So definitely I would say that mention that. Where where can I calculate ZAT score? We'll just be releasing the ZAT calculator soon. Just check this as such. I think Krakow.in, just check. You should be able to get it. No, I'm not engineering. Okay. Again, Shrishti put in all of these values in the CAT predictor, because for each institute it is very different. For like female, non-engineer, there are different marks that are allotted by different institutes. So I can't actually tell right now. Okay. And which books can you read? Okay, I think the same question is there. Knowing the crux of the book is okay as I forget details of a character name. Okay. Create a good impression in interviews. I don't have any again, no, essentially, Chetan, remember, it's not about like reading for the interviews, because if you read for the interviews, you will not be able to fool the interviewers. So, for example, they'll go very deep into it. It should be a real interest, something that you are actually interested in. And don't actually say that, okay, this sounds like a bad interest to have, or this is not a good interest. Reading books is a good interest. Playing football or playing gully cricket is not a good interest. Your interest is your interest. If you are somebody who knows all of the cricket statistics also, that is something that you have actually, that is of value. So your interest is your interest. Don't fake an interest and don't read up before an interview, because you will not be able to convince the interviewer. They'll actually have a poorer estimation of you, rather than if you had actually gone with your original interest as such. Okay. Okay. I am working in Toyota. Haven't written CAT, but expect call for like playing online games, reading manga. Want to choose a course which is related to SCM, international trade. Yeah. So basically, in that case, basically try to think of how you would actually write your interest into a cohesive story as such. So basically, what you want to say is that, okay, I am somebody who has. You can say that, okay, you are you like manga, or you are a fan of Japanese animation, you are a fan of Japanese work, you aim to go there. It's some traveling, you are somebody who loves to travel and haven't gotten a lot of opportunity, but wants to travel around these countries. So that's a actual interest of yours. So then if they actually start asking you about manga, that is fine. If you are interested in online games, you can say that, okay, I have played online games extensively and I am rated this, or I won these kind of online championships. That would also add value to your tell me about yourself. If you have a gap year of 2 years, they will automatically know. Yeah, they will know. You have to actually put in most cases. So again, you should have a answer ready for what is, do you have a gap year, or like if they ask you about it, you should have proper answers ready as such. Okay. Ishit, I'm Ishit Doshi. I come from Mumbai, qualified as a CA after completing from BCom from HR College. Macroeconomics, finance, and capital markets interest me. Okay, okay, that is fine, Ishit. But again, they might not take the bait, so you have to be more careful in how you put the bait. So basically, say that I'm Ishit Doshi. I come from Mumbai. I qualified as the CA after completing my this. I am an avid reader, especially of non-fiction. My interests lie in economics and capital markets. I have a, you can basically say which economics books that you like to read. For example, a lot of people in there tell me about themselves, say that, okay, I'm somebody who has read all of Taleb's, Nicholas Taleb's books, and I have read all about or like certain maths or economics concepts that you have read thoroughly. So essentially, basically say what your interest is without saying that, okay, these are my interest, and then hope that they will catch. If you put your interest in a way that, okay, I'm interested in this particular work or this author, or I am interested in macroeconomic finance, especially the works of authors like XYZ interest me. So then they have more things to actually bite on as such. Okay. Our lack of knowledge in undergrad. How to answer lack of knowledge in undergrad? Ravi, I would say that instead of like appearing not knowledgeable, try to brush up on your undergrad topics. Again, there is ultimately the interview is also there to see whether or not you're a serious student. A serious student would have prepared his undergrad topics. A serious student would know his undergrad topics. If you are saying that I'm not at all interested in my undergrad, that is a bad sign for a professor. A professor wants a sincere and a serious student. You don't appear like one. So that is a big no sign for most professors. So I would suggest take it very, very seriously. Go and read up on the in your undergrad topics. At least read up topics that you really like, because if that it comes from that particular topic, you can basically answer. Or you can say that, sir, I did my undergrad in engineering and in electrical engineering, but I was not very well suited for that. But in my last year, I took a lot of electives in computer science because I was extremely interested in computer science. Then they can ask you from computer science as such. So basically, try to pick things that are positive about you. If you just say that, okay, I'm not good at undergrad topics, I don't want to answer questions from undergrad topics, it's not a good sign about how sincere you are as a student. It is extremely important in the personal interview that you give the vibe that you are a very sincere, sincere scholastic student who will attend all classes, will do all the homework on time. because that is what the professor wants. So do not actually give off the vibe that you didn't do well in your undergrad, or you didn't care about doing well in your undergrad. At least you have to give this that I wasn't suited. I realized the seriousness of working hard quite late, and I tried to improve my grades. In my final year, I got this much grade, and I was able to improve my overall grade to this much. At least it shows an improvement. It shows that you understand it is important to do well academically. Okay, I'll be taking a last few questions, and we'll be closing for today. Okay, so the next this is last year I said I am having interest in reading manga, and the panel start asking about Japan and famous things, even though I haven't. Yeah, that is what they know. So basically, in their mind, manga is related to Japan, because they don't know anything about manga, but they know a lot about Japan. Similarly, if you say about online games, they will start talking about anything related to online games. So basically, they can ask about, say, Microsoft's investment in games. These guys like big tech giants starting streaming platform for games, then shutting them down. Then they can start talking about big tech at all. And you might not have any idea about tech or like anything related to that. You might be only about online games. But essentially, that's the thing that hooks do, right? Hooks start from one point and go to another point and go to another point, and you have no control over that. So it's very, very important that firstly you choose the right hooks, and once you have chosen a hook, you research it down to every possible way that it can go. And manga to Japan is such an obvious connection that you have to then, if you say manga, you have to like research Japan, everything about Japan. Like what are the islands of it, who is a prime minister, what are the like different forms of culture, like different paintings, every single thing, because it is extremely important to show that you are somebody who is like a passionate reader, passionate person as such. Okay, we'll take a last question and then we'll end for today. In my graduation final year, I graduated in, Divya, okay, I was graduated in June and prepared for CAT rather than a job. Should I give explanation about a gap in IIM interview form? Yes, you should, because it is a gap year as such. So you can definitely put that for the few months that you have not, since graduation till the CAT exam, you have not had, you have not been employed. So you can definitely put that. Gap year due to UPSC, should we mention that? Yes, Vipin. A lot of people have actually taken gap year due to UPSC. Of the set of people who have taken gap years for UPSC, I would say those people are like, in my experience, one of the most knowledgeable and the good bunch as such. So it's something, it is like completely a positive thing to say that you took a gap year for UPSC as compared to every other gap year explanations that are there as such. I'm getting 15 in XLRI according to Krakow. Okay, I'm not sure, Kshitij. I would say that wait till we have more responses, then we'll get an idea about the percentiles. Okay. So no, I can't comment right now. Again, basically, it depends on, I think around 98-ish would be safe. Again, depends on your profile, on the different marks that are given for like different categories that are there for undergrad, etc., etc. So can't really say, just take a look after we have a decent amount of responses, then you can take a look at the call predictor as such. So with that, we'll be ending today's session. Thank you guys. Thank you all those who have joined us. As much as possible, just write down and start preparing, because the earlier you prepare, the more time you will get to research every single thing that you have to say. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining us.